Hello viewers, இந்த வீடியோ வந்து ஒரு ஸ்பெஷலாக விமனுக்காக பேரண்ட்ஸ்க்காகன்னு கூட சொல்லலாம். ஸோ நம்ம எல்லாருமே இந்த கோவிட் சிச்சுவேஷனில் வந்து மாண்டசரி பேரண்ட்ஸாக மாறியாச்சு. ஸோ நம்மளே நம்ம குழந்தைகளை ஹேண்டில் பண்ண ஆரம்பிச்சாச்சு, கற்றுன்ட்டோம். நிறைய வந்து ஜூமில் வாட்ஸ்அப் லெசன்ஸில் வந்து நிறைய டீச்சர்ஸ்லாம் லெசன்ஸ் தான் அனுப்பினாங்க. பட் ப்ராக்டிக்கலாக சொல்லி கொடுத்தது வந்து நீங்கள் பேரண்ட்ஸ் தான். அப்போ அதுலேயே வந்து எப்படி இந்த மாண்டசரி மெத்தடாலஜி இன்ட்ரடியூஸ் பண்ணலாம், எப்படி வந்து நம்ம யூஸ் பண்ணிக்கலாம். சில அப்பேரட்டஸ் நிறைய பேர் வீட்டில் எனக்கு தெரியும், சின்ன குழந்தைங்க இருந்தாலே தே பை அ செட் ஆஃப் மாண்டசரி ப்ராடக்ட்ஸ். இட்ஸ் அப்பேரட்டஸ்னு நாங்கள் சயின்டிஃபிக்காக சொல்லுவோம். பிகாஸ் வி தி மாண்டசரி ட்ரெயின்டு எஜுகேஷன் இஸ் கால் இட் அஸ் அன் apparatus, because without the apparatus சயின்ஸில் எப்படி வந்து எனி சயின்ஸ் கான்செப்ட் cannot be taught properly. That way, even in Montessori, without the use of apparatus, all these apparatus I should say, we cannot introduce concepts. So Mrs. Indira is here. This is not only for the trainees who are taking training to become a Montessori trained teacher, but for each and every parent who are having small young children of the age group like 1 to 8 years, to make use of this apparatus, these materials, to simplify I should say materials, and introduce concepts to them. So enjoy and learn something new from us. Thank you.
Hi VGTalk viewers, very happy to see you all after the pandemic. Of course, we at Sri Venkateswara Montessori Teachers Training School, we are progressing even in this pandemic. And as my madam has rightly pointed out, it is a request from us that these Montessori materials, as parents, you should all have the knowledge of these apparatus. Madam rightly said, in short, we can even call it as Montessori materials. So we call it in Montessori exactly as apparatus. It's always good for parents to have a complete knowledge of these materials, because these materials are very much useful in taking various concepts to your children. To our children. Yes, the concepts of language, the concepts of mathematics, the concepts of social studies, the concept of culture, which is a very big subject, and the practical life skills which we all aim for in our children, can be easily taken very smoothly, very interestingly to children if you all have the knowledge of the Montessori apparatus. Shall we now get into the apparatus? Here we go. Now, to start with, my dear viewers, in Montessori apparatus we have this sensorial apparatus called the pink tower. Can you see this? This pink tower is in a wooden case, and remember, all the Montessori materials are eco-friendly. That means they are all made of very fine wood. And this is the pink tower, the sensorial apparatus, and you find 10 cubes. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Starting from 1 centimeter cube to 1000 centimeter cube. So here they learn the language pink tower. So when they see something tall, they call it a tower. That concept reaches the children. And you can also teach them number work, mathematics. See, they start counting 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And also the ascending and the descending can also be taught. This also teaches mathematics. And when you teach through notes by making them, forcing them to write, they are not for it. But when it comes through pink tower, they easily learn it enjoyably. So this is one of the sensorial apparatus called the pink tower. And then we'll pass on to the next apparatus called the brown stairs. This is called the brown stairs. Why it is called the brown stairs? Because it is brown in color. It is brown in color, and it has to be arranged like this, and these are called the rectangular prisms. You have 10 such prisms. Any Montessori material, sensory material you take for that matter, it is all 10 in number. Okay, this is a rectangular prism, and it is neatly arranged in the form of a staircase, and this alignment must be very clear. It should fall in one single line. The stairs should fall in one single line. See, this is the thinnest of all, the rectangular prism. Okay, and see, now I do this way. When you do all this, the children get motivated and automatically they come and sit and they start counting on their own. And you all can also show them like this, that you are climbing the staircase. This is another sensorial apparatus which is 10 in number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 and 10. The length is the same, the width changes. So when you say length, width and all that, they may not be interesting, okay, when it comes to the black and white board. But through the apparatus, they feel enjoyable, okay. Thereby, by doing all this, you are motivating your children. So they learn the color, brown, they learn what is meant by stairs, they learn counting, and also take for example this. This is thick. This is thicker, and this is thickest. So you are also teaching them grammar. So these many concepts they take in so easily through Montessori apparatus. So this is another sensorial apparatus. Now shall we move on to the next apparatus? This is called the cylinders. And again I say they are all 10 in number, and all these cylinders have knobs. Can you see these knobs? This is for them to make use of these 3 fingers to hold, and this helps them in future for writing, for holding their pencil, to get the pincer grip. To get the pincer grip, these cylinders play a major role, and this also teach them the number concept. They also come to know what is a cylinder, and here the length remains the same but the diameter changes. So through this apparatus they learn the discrimination of sizes. So this is the cylinder, okay, and they are 10 in number. Now let's pass on to the next apparatus. This is another apparatus which is for number work, and it's called the Spindle Box. And can you see, my dear viewers, fantastic apparatus, everything smooth, and you have 10 compartments starting from 0. 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. So totally 10 compartments starting with 0. And inside this you find something like this, which is called the spindle rods. And these spindle rods are 45 in number, okay. And through this concept, when you say 1, the child has to remove all the spindle rods, and he has to say 1 and drop it into the particular box. And coming to the second compartment, he has to say 1, 2, drop. Likewise, he has to cover all the compartments. He learns a number, and especially the concept 0 through this wonderful apparatus called the Spindle Box, having 45 spindle rods. Okay, my dear viewers, shall we pass on to the next? The next one is for the auditory sense, for the ears, because these are all sensorial apparatus to train the children to be good at their senses, because senses are the gateways of knowledge, said by Dr. Maria Montessori. And these 2 wooden boxes filled with 6 cylinders in each. This covered with blue, and these 6 cylinders covered with red. And now I am going to take one from each box. I have taken this. I listen to the sound. Oh, this is a sound. I take another cylinder from the other box. It sounds the same. See? So this is for their auditory senses, where the child feels very happy to match the sounds. So this is for their hearing sense, auditory sense, and this we call it as the wooden boxes, having 6 cylinders in each wooden box. My dear viewers, now let's pass on to geometrical solids. These are all solids, because why do we call them solids? Because they are 3-dimensional objects. Okay, and now I start with the cylinder. Look at the cylinder, make the child feel the cylinder, and you can make the child roll the cylinder. It rolls. And see the surfaces. Both the surfaces are flat and circle in shape. Make the child draw on the margin, draw on the sides. Let him feel. Thereby he understands this is a cylinder. And then comes the cube. He's already introduced to the cube through the pink tower. And by looking at this and feeling, the child has to feel, the child has to touch, the child has to feel. See the surfaces. If he tries to roll, it doesn't roll, because the surfaces are flat. And allow the child to draw on the margins. They are all square shaped on all sides. square shaped on all sides, and this is said to be a cube. And then comes the cone. Immediately they see this, they say, oh, cone, oh, ice cream, because they take ice creams, you know. And this cone, allow them to feel. And one surface is circle in shape, it's flat. Another one is pointed and it is cone shaped. They learn it so beautifully and so happily. And now let's pass on to the next apparatus, which comes under practical life skills. So the Montessori is all to make the children independent. Yes, and we have these dressing frames as practical life materials. And we have different dressing frames. Some are buttoning, some are zipping, and some are velcro type. And this is zipping. This is velcro. Okay, and it comes in a wooden frame like this. Okay, and they are 4 to 8 in numbers. This is for their practical life skills, where they have the buttons, velcro, push buttons, hooks, and all that, to make the children independent. And now let me pass on to the next sensorial apparatus called the bell jars. The bell jars, this is another material for the hearing sense, for their auditory sense. Thereby they learn to discriminate the pitches, high or low and all that. And these are called the bell jars. See, I have taken 2 sets. There are 16 in number. The bell jars are 16 number, and we have here the most important materials. And I take 2 bell jars, and these 2 bell jars white, and I take the striker, and this is striker which is given to the child, and he has to hold it. The sound, yes, the sound differs. So you find the first one is low, whereas the second one is high. So the sounds can be matched, and these are the bell jars for their auditory sense. And now let's come to the last important apparatus, which you should all have at home. And these are called the red and the blue rods. The red and the blue rods, otherwise called the number rods. And this red, the smallest of all, this stands for the odd number, and blue stands for the even number. Let me arrange. 1, 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 4. I'll go for this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Likewise, it has to be arranged correctly in its order, and the child understands the fact this is 1, and he can count like this: 1, 2, 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and he comes to know math, counting, as well as 1 is small whereas 10 is big. He understands what is lesser than, greater than, which is small and which is big, through this red and blue rods, otherwise called number rods. And these are the basic Montessori apparatus. My dear parents, please have them at your home, and you take the concepts easily without any difficulty to your children, and enjoy living with the children, staying with the children, and learning from them at the same time. And my dear viewers, this is more important, that is, if you have any doubts regarding the materials or the course, anytime you can call us. Our number will be displayed. And regarding the Montessori materials, if you have any doubts, we are always available. Please call us and clarify all your doubts, and we need your comments. It is more important for all of us. Please pass on your comments, put it in the chat box. We welcome your comments because we are all in the learning process. Okay? Anytime we are available, please contact us.